I'm really
Okay.
rushing.
Okay.
Okay, Patricia. So welcome to Keys People of Influence, where basically people who complement what I do as a therapist are the practitioners who help people I'm forever interested in. And your work is of particular interest to me as a psychotherapist, because obviously, people come to me when they're in a pickle and they need help to sort out their situation. Sometimes they can be overwhelmed and can't see a way through. So one of the benefits of coming to see myself is that I help people to get clarity, but I also know lots of other people who can assist my clients. And so because money and debt often comes up in therapy, I was really keen, I've been keen for a long time to talk to you about how you help people to deal with their money concerns. So introduce yourself and tell me a bit about how you help people.
Hi, my name's Patricia Buckland. My company's called Debt Talk. It became Debt Talk when I was at college because I wanted to shine a light onto debt. I don't do debt management. I teach people how to budget, but I wanted to shine a light onto the shame that debt incurs.
Mm.
No one talks about it, and people eventually sometimes get overwhelmed to the stage they can't cope. So I wanted to really get in there and find out what causes it and to help them to deal with their debts.
Beautiful.
The first thing to do, I deliver financial literacy workshops. So I teach people how to budget and how to manage their money. So if you're in debt, you need to find a free debt management agency. There are loads out there.
A free debt management agency,
Yeah.
and my pen has gone walkabout, but I'm going to get one because I'm being authentic. And I can't find, there it is. Okay, so what was that, did you say? So you teach financial literacy.
I do. I teach people how to manage their money. So it's
And
not debt management.
What's the difference between debt management and financial literacy?
Debt management is where somebody tells you how much debt they have. You then ring their creditors and you sort out their debts for them,
Right.
and then you take the money off of them and you pay them monthly.
Okay.
Or you get them the creditors to agree a smaller amount. And there are so many agencies out there doing it for free. They have the power to help you. I don't have that power behind me. So if you find a free one, they will help you. Okay. And you've got the CAB, you've got Step Change, you've got Christians Against Poverty, National Debt Line, and Shelter. Housing related problems is Shelter. And they're all free.
Okay, so if you could send those links to me later on, what I'll do is I'll put them under this podcast, because what you're saying is that actually for debt management, you'd go to these agencies.
Yes.
But what you're talking about, to my mind, is also about the emotional aspect of being in debt. And
absolutely.
And shame. I'm always interested in shame, because shame is such a profound emotion that makes us go mute. Shame and guilt also have a close relationship as well. So what have you noticed around shame and people with finance challenges?
Over the years, I've noticed people do get overwhelmed. There are some people that unfortunately die over it. And it's about time we came with the torch onto all this and said it's not shameful. Debt is not bad. If it's manageable and you're okay with it, there's nothing wrong with it. But if it's unmanageable, then seek help. Every time, seek help. Okay. You need to seek the help, and don't be scared to phone. No one's going to judge you. It'll be fine.
Okay. So when you say, I think it's good that we name things. So when we say people become overwhelmed, are we talking about the fact that sometimes people get to a point where they decide to take their life because they feel that their challenges are insurmountable, they're shamed, they're embarrassed, they turn inwards and they don't reach out, and then they, I guess, suicide becomes the ultimate act of self-harm.
Absolutely. And there's nothing to worry about. Just literally, honestly, reach out. I can't say it more enough. Just reach out to the agencies, they will help you.
So if one of my clients or someone watching this video reached out to you, what are they likely to experience when they come to you? Because what you're talking about is literacy. If they were in debt and they came to you, what are they likely to experience working with you?
We'd have half an hour free chat to make an assessment. If they're in debt, then I would signpost them onto the agencies for free. Then I would say, if you want to, come back to me and we can help you stick to your budget. We can go through your budget. We can work out what, where your spending is, your priority bills, how much you've got, and then we can help you look at ways to make it balance.
Okay.
Because the budget is the key to everything.
Okay. And so what would you like to say to people about budgeting? What have you come to understand about budgets and, Joe Public? What are your thoughts around that? Please
I
don't
love budget. I love budgeting. I worked in finance for most of my life. I did purchase ledger for years and years and years. I paid the bills for businesses. And if you've got a budget, you've got a plan, you've got a goal, it's under control. I'm a bit of a control freak. I like to know what's going on in my bank. I like to check my balance every day. If not, no. Yeah. And if I don't check it, I know what's in my head. I know it's going down. I count it down. So the best thing to do is check it every day if you can. That's really hard in itself. Or at least once a week, check what's going out, and check any direct debits that you don't need anymore.
Yeah.
Make sure and also do a bank reconciliation is when you look through your bank statement every month and you make sure the money going out you have spent.
Oh, really? Because what have you? It sounds like you may have come across, maybe transactions that people don't always know about. Is that something that often happens, or is that
I haven't heard about it, but as my training in finance, that was what you would do. You'd check the bank balance. You'd make sure everything came out of the bank is what you've spent.
Okay.
So it's really important you do that. Otherwise, someone could be taking money out of your bank account and you wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean, recently I have zero for my business accounting. And there was a £15 coming out on the first of the month that I didn't recognize.
Yeah.
I Googled it and I bought a train ticket for a staff member, and for whatever reason, I don't know what I clicked, but for some reason this other company seemed to have got in and I was paying them apparently £15 so I could get discounts on these little shops. I was furious about that because I didn't openly recognize that I'd signed up for it, because I wasn't making any benefits of this. Train as well, because it was seem to very quickly that from that 3 months is something I didn't recognize. So, and I think I'm fairly, but clearly I hadn't been wrecking in a way that I should have been.
Yeah, absolutely. Do a bank rec. I mean, my husband and I do one once a month. He'll go through the bank statement and say, "Did you do this? Did you do this?" And I'll say, "Yeah, how much? How much?" And then we'll agree with it. Yeah, because a big thing as well is talking to your partner if you can about money. If you've got a partner and there's two of you in the relationship, if you can talk about your money, then talk about it.
Okay,
it makes life easier.
Is that because people don't tend to talk about money?
Yeah. Partners very often don't talk to each other about money. Yeah.
Yes, because often, and I don't have any stats on this, but there is also a lot of data about evidence about money being money matters.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you can, if you can very nicely together work on the bank statement, then you both know you're working towards the same goal.
Okay. And so what are some of the tips that you would recommend in terms of people budgeting? I know we've touched on budgeting, but what tips would you recommend for people?
Can you repeat that? Broken up.
No worries. So I said, what are your top tips to help people deal with their finance matters?
Budget.
Budget.
Here we have one. It's backwards. Oh, sorry, that's not the budget. This is the budget. Yeah. You want your income, you want your expenses, and you want your priority bills, and then you want whatever's left. If it's in negative, you're in debt, and if it's not, it's in positive, you're okay. It's all about planning. It's about your income, maximizing your income. If you haven't got enough income coming in, how are you going to get that? You're going to sell stuff? Are you going to do 2 or 3 jobs? It's all about increasing your income to cover your expenses.
And what if you're someone who buries your head in the sand when it comes to finances and you absolutely fear budgeting because, you know, I think potentially you might like, you might be very logical, rational, you like to see things planned out. But for some of us, we may not be that way inclined, and we kind of like might have an optimistic, okay, we'll sort that out another point, or,
Absolutely.
you know, how do you
Absolutely.
encourage people who can be quite spontaneous or actually put their head in the sand when it comes to matters of finance?
We make it fun. We make it lots and lots of fun, and we use a vision board. There's mine behind us. And I embed this into a course on vision boards. So we look at what you want to save up for, we look at your goals, and then we work on a vision board to help you budget and help you get there as well. Because if you look at it every day, what you're saving up for, what you're doing, then it kind of keeps you focused, really.
So
and it's based on a theory. It's based on Dr. Brad Clonce's theory as well of financial therapy.
Oh wow, so they've got financial therapists now too, huh?
They certainly have. In the USA, yeah. It's a big thing in financial therapy. It's a big thing in the USA, yeah.
And I know that's something that you've been interested in as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Different, money scripts and that kind of thing, really, as well. They talk about money scripts and how you look back into your parents and how they manage their money.
Yeah, so the scarcity mindset is something that is often influences our relationship with money.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So I do make it fun. It's nothing heavy. It's really just talking about it as a group, and we talk about how to budget, and it's really nothing to worry about.
So tell me a bit more about your workshops. How often do you have them? Where do you have them? What will people gain from going to one of your workshops?
Well, they were monthly, but with the coronavirus at the moment, it's going to be, I've put them off till, and we're going to reassess it in September, really, basically. And we're looking at different workshops. So the vision board workshop is about coming in, creating a vision board, finding your goal and your dream, looking to create your dream, and then working out how you can save the money up to get there.
What you want for your life.
Absolutely, because you may want to dream, but you're going to have to work out how you're going to get there.
Yeah, so you teach people the how.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So that's like reverse engineering. So if you want this, then this is the way to go.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how you're going to get there. And yeah, again, it comes down to budgeting. So it's a nice way of looking at your budget. It's a nice way of looking at how to manage your money, and how much and if you're a small business, you can come along, because then we talk about the same thing. We use a vision board for small business, and we'll also work about how you're going to price stuff up, because you need to pay your bills.
Okay, so it's also
if you're going to self-employed or you're a small business, come along and we can talk about that as well.
Superb. So how you help people. So remind us the name of your website and the name of your business.
Website's www.debt-talk.com. My company's called Debt Talk. Super. And I'm Patricia Buckland.
And just another thing, because I think this is coming up more and more, especially for me personally, as my children have got older and now they're starting to get bank accounts. What are your thoughts about why this isn't in schools? Why are children not taught about, they're taught maths, but they're not taught about finance? And to my mind, that would make such sense to have that in schools, where children can learn about money and learn about APRs, interest rates, how to get the best deals. What are your thoughts about the lack of education around
I think it
finance?
is in schools. It's supposed to be there. I think, it's supposed to be there. Martin Lewis said it would be there. I think he's got some. I think he gave some books away as well with it in some schools, or all the schools in the nation. I think. And I think it's in there, but it's people that haven't had it. If it's been there now, it's a people that haven't had this information. If it's preschool now.
Okay, so you feel that actually people are being educated, the children are being educated now, but actually the gap that you're filling is for people who haven't received that kind of training about money, literacy, APRs. It's interesting because in Oxfordshire, we've just had Bright House has just closed down. And wow, that's a real giggle for you there. What are your thoughts about companies like Bright? Is it Bright House? Yes, I think
Bright House, yeah. Each to their own, really. I mean, it's difficult. People say about payday loans and they shouldn't be around, but if you don't have a payday loan, you're going to get an illegal lender. And
Mhm.
I prefer a payday loan to a legal lender out there, a loan shark.
Mhm.
They all have their own place in within this finance and financial literacy for people. And
Yeah.
if you've got nowhere to borrow £10 from,
Yeah.
then you need somewhere. Even if it's only for the
Yeah.
kids' lunchboxes and stuff, you need somewhere to go that's legally registered and that
Mhm.
has and is accountable.
Okay. Thank you
And
for that.
so I don't. It's difficult. It's a difficult place to be, really, because payday loans, if you, they are horrendous, and if you have to use them, then it's hard, but they
Mhm.
have their place. It's
Okay.
difficult, isn't it?
Yes, it's an interesting one,
Yeah,
and
it is.
I grew up where I remember people used to come to my house to get money for the catalogue every week,
Yes,
you
that's
know.
right. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah, we used
I
to do that
remember
too.
those days. Yeah, I do
Yeah,
remember. And I remember
yeah.
hiding when we wasn't going to open the door when they came as well.
I remember I was when I was a single parent with three little kids. We had an insurance man that knocked on the door, and we used to hide from him.
Yeah.
£1 a
Eventually,
week. And
eventually,
eventually he said, "You need this more than I do," and he gave it back to me.
wow. God bless.
So yeah,
God bless. Yeah, and what would you say, just before we go, there's people that we've got the coronavirus at this current time, and we've got panic buying. What would you say to people who aren't in a position to be able to do that, or maybe they are putting themselves in debt? What advice or encouragement? People might be losing money at this current time with a downturn in business or with
yeah.
0 contracts. Is there any words of encouragement or tips or advice that you'd give to people out there who might be feeling the
I don't
pinch?
think anyone knows. No one really knows what to do. What to do. I mean, the government today have given some advice on to stay away from people, and people are calling for people to postpone rent payments and mortgage payments.
Right, okay.
They are calling for that, and yeah, no one knows what's going to happen over the next 2 or 3 months. So it's
Yeah.
difficult to say, really.
So no tips.
No, I mean, I went to the shops today, and the shelves are empty. Yeah,
Really?
absolutely nothing at
Go
all.
to a big mainstream
Yeah,
supermarket.
mainstream supermarket, and there was very little in there,
Oh,
completely. So I
okay.
don't, I don't think anyone really knows what to do, quite
Just play it
honestly.
by ear.
Yeah, I don't know.
You really don't
Gonna
know.
have to wait and see how it pans out, really. I'm really hoping that the panic buying will stop,
Yeah.
because I mean, and I'm assuming the supply chain is still there and it'll still come through. Maybe a little bit slower if people are ill, but I'm assuming it will still come through. So people that are panic buying, I'm hoping, have got what they need now, and then it will just trickle through. But I don't know.
Okay, well, no tip there for this current time.
Sorry
However,
about that.
you know what? It could be a time to think about your budget. It could be a time
Yeah,
to give Patricia a call to see how you can develop your financial literacy so you can have the dream life that you want for yourself. Because, reverse engineering, for me, I am not a numbers person at all. However, what my coach has been helpful with me, and, I'd love to attend one of your workshops, is, well, if you focus on what you want, the outcome, then you can then start to backtrack in terms of what that would look like in terms of what you need to earn. And I think for me, as someone who doesn't enjoy numbers, that was beneficial for me. That was really beneficial
yeah,
because it made things very tangible. But I also felt that actually having someone to hold my hand through that process was helpful, because often we think we can do things all by ourselves. I've got this. But actually having another human to talk things through with, to challenge us, to be accountable to, then even doing an exercise like the one behind is invaluable in terms of
absolutely,
investing in
absolutely.
yourself.
I
Yeah.
find the same. I find the same when I go to swimming club, and that kind of thing. Really, I'm off plan right now, but normally I'm on plan, and it makes you accountable. You get on the scales, and it makes you accountable. And the same sort of thing for me as well. Really, you come to my workshops, and I can hold your hand and help you and discuss with you what you need to do.
Superb. Okay, Patricia. Well, I'd just love to thank you for your time and for talking about, financial literacy, helping people to educate them about money and to see how they can have the dreams that they want for themselves, helping them to have a plan and a budget.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
We'll take care of you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye now.
Bye.
Don't go.